morning, folks. Today here with Andre, talking about pitchers, especially pitch count. The reason why we're talking about pitch count is because I guess at some point we had to come with some kind of rules all across the country. So why did we get that far?
Yeah, so just to give a bit of background, in the past we used to have recommended pitch limitation, but that was done by innings. So for an example, we could say that after 4 or 5 innings, their recommended rest would be 2 or 3 days whatsoever. So what we realized after looking at all this concept is that you could go 4 innings and throw 100 pitches, 120, and I could go 4 innings and throw 40. But at the end of the day, the amount of rest recommended for both of us was the same, so it doesn't really make sense, So we kind of look at what others were doing, internationally and everything, and that pitch count, and we would like to say, it's kind of an arm smart approach, which is a positive approach to protecting the arms of our young pitchers. It's to use an actual pitch count, so basically counting each and every single pitch that is done during the course of a game and attach a recommended number of days of rest to each of those different thresholds that we've established. For an example, if you reach 30 pitches in one division, then you might not need a day of rest. You might be able to go the next day. But if you're between 31 and 55, you might need one, and so on and so forth until you reach a certain maximum that we don't want our coaches to go beyond that. So by doing this, it is protecting the arm of our athletes, and at the same time, it forces coaches to develop more pitchers because like coaches were saying, it's good to protect the arm, but we need more pitchers, and they're forced to do a little bit more development there. And for those of you at home interested in knowing more about how to develop pitchers, we have a program called My First Pitch that is being offered in most provinces, where you can learn on the development of pitchers.
I think too that the coaches should consider that yes, there's a certain number of pitches that you're allowed to do in a game or in an inning, but also consider the pre-game preparation, pickoffs and stuff, which are not counting, but they should consider it.
Great point, and it's part of your decision when it's time to decide if the young pitchers has to continue in the game or has to be taken out. Those are to be considered as well. And I'm going to add one thing also, is that if little Johnny throws 30 or 35 or 40 pitches in one inning, that could be a sign that you might want to take him out right away, even though it didn't reach the first threshold or the second one. But throwing lots of pitches in one inning could have an impact on the future as well.
True.
So you might not see the damages to the arm early on in the career, because at 15 and 16 you're ready to go and everything, but those little injuries will come out later on. So might be a good thing to think about that right away.
Super. Thanks for the details.
Thank you.
Thank you, coaches.